We've heard from Mr. Irsay this offseason. We've heard from Chris Ballard. We've heard from Frank Reich. When they talk about the future of the Colts and players they're excited about, your name continues to come up. How do you feel about that? How do you respond to that in 2020?
In 2020, I respond well to that. It's exciting, and it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that I have the belief in the organization with me. Even going from the draft, you watched the little Colts special right after they drafted me, seeing Coach Reich's excitement, seeing Chris Ballard's excitement, and then me being able to come on the field and produce last year just gives me a lot of confidence going into year 2, just being able to help this team and help us get to a championship we want to.
All right, George Bremer.
Bobby, thanks for doing this. Going to hit you with a pretty broad question here, but is there any one lesson that you can think of that you didn't know a year ago at this time that you are aware of now that'll make you a better player in 2020?
Yeah, probably just the technique of just using my hands more. I think I was blessed to have Coach Eberflus as my first-year linebacker coach, and kind of just the technique of using our quick punch and our long arm. I got long arms, kind of in that same mold as Darius Leonard, EJ Speed. Just being able to use our athleticism and long arms to keep linemen off us and to be free to run and make plays.
Okay, Zach Kiefer.
Hey, Bobby. Same thing that George kind of asked a second ago. Was there ever a moment last year when it clicked for you? And I know you had a pretty solid finish to the season. The team wasn't playing well. You were putting together some good games. Was there ever a moment in your rookie year where you start to caught up to everything and it started to make sense and you were able to play faster?
Yeah, I would honestly say that switch for me kind of flipped after that Chiefs game. I was in that backup role behind Anthony as a second Mike. I was getting every second, every third snap, but kind of being thrust into that game, kind of a little baptism by fire. After that game, playing well and getting that win, with a lot of confidence for our team, but a lot of confidence for me, knowing that I could come in and play with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and really come in and play versus anybody and play at a high level.
Okay, Joel Erickson.
Hey, Bobby, you're talking about keeping blockers off you and stuff like that. Is it hard in this era of having to kind of do all your workouts on your own stuff to work on stuff like that? And how do you figure out ways around that?
Yeah. It's not your conventional off season. And it's been a bummer. I haven't been able to use Indianapolis facilities, use the sled that we call Tar Glen every day, but just trying to make do. We have pads at my agent's facility. So I'll go there, I'll strike the bags. And then at the gym I'm able to work at, I try to work my hands and work striking. I've done a little boxing this off season, kind of just working on my hand technique and contact. So just trying to make do with what I can.
All right, Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Bobby, thanks for doing this. Last year, I think you played a little bit Sam late in the year just to get you on the field more. Do you view yourself as competing for that Mike job when you enter, camp here, hopefully in about a month?
Yeah, I do. Obviously I'm coming into season playing a lot of Sam, and I'm prepared to start in that role. But for this team, I think the best thing I can do is to put myself in the best position to either be the starting Mike or be the starting Sam, but to just have an understanding of the playbook and to just be as skilled as I can in both positions. So the coaches have an opportunity to make a decision and put the best players on the field.
Okay, Dave Griffiths.
Hey, Bobby. Question just about the defense in general this year. What kind of potential do you see in that unit as a whole? You bring in a guy like as an all-pro and DeForest Buckner in front of you. Xavier Rhodes has gone to the Pro Bowl a few times. So what do you think all you guys can do together?
I think we've had that goal of being a top 5 defense, if not one of the top defenses in the league. We want to lead the NFL, set the NFL record of having 40 plus takeaways. So we know we're capable of. We're fast, we're physical, and we're a young defense that's kind of been bolstered by these new offseason acquisitions. So we're definitely excited, and we're trying to take over this season.
Okay, Kevin Bowen, go back to you.
Hey, Bobby, what was the environment yesterday during the team meeting? Did Frank give you guys a chance to speak on everything that's going around in our country right now and how much you're willing to share? Can you kind of give us a little insight into that?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Honestly, these past 2 days, we really haven't even gone over football. We haven't installed. And I think that's just important for us as players to know that our management, from Coach Reich to Frank Ballard to Jim Irsay, really understand the gravity of the situation in our country. So we've really just taken the time, really 2 hours each day to just sit and talk. People have shared their experiences, and it's just been a huge learning experience for everybody to just get on the same page and realize the influence we have as Indianapolis Colts players and to try to figure out a plan of action of what we can do moving forward.
Okay, Zach Kiefer.
On that note, Bobby, I'm sure these conversations were passionate, and what can you share from the dynamic of the room? Was it players mostly talking, or coaches mostly talking, or just a give and take? And how did it go?
Yeah, I think the first day really started off with players mostly talking, people sharing their personal accounts, whether it was stuff related with police brutality or racism in general. But it was very emotional. There were a lot of tears, a lot of compassion, everyone being sympathetic towards each other. And I think as we transitioned to the next day, really a lot of coaches spoke, a lot of players, non-Black and Black players spoke, just kind of everybody sharing their experiences and sharing how much the day before touched them and meant to them. I think for a lot of players on this team, players, staff, coaches, yesterday when we first had that conversation, that was probably one of the most impactful social conversations they've ever had in their life. And for me, easily. So I think it's just been incredible having these conversations. And I think we all need to, in our circles going forward, to have the change in this country we need.
Hey, Joel Erickson.
Bobby, what's been your personal reaction to George Floyd's murder and everything that's gone on since?
Yeah, it's been emotional. I kind of told my story a little bit. Growing up in Tustin, California, being one of the only Black families in my environment growing up. So I didn't necessarily face overt racism, but I felt some of it. And I think it was just sad to watch that video and to just know all the other accounts of people who have faced police brutality, whether it's caught on video or the ones that haven't been. But I just think it's been positive to see, especially people my young generation, kind of the momentum on social media, people in the protests, kind of just seeing everybody on the same page, realizing that racism is an issue in this country and that there is a lot we can do about it. And police brutality is one of the main issues that we need to attack in this country.
Okay, Jim Aiello.
Hey, Bobby. Thanks for doing this. I was just curious. You mentioned you guys talked about some of the things that you guys can do as a team and as players. I mean, have you? I know obviously it's going to kind of, the focus will be talked about kneeling and all the things that happened with Colin Kaepernick. But have you guys talked about whether it be kneeling or something else that you guys can do as a team to kind of show unity or to protest police brutality or do those kind of things?
Yeah, no, not specifically. We kind of float around some ideas, whether we can have like a racial or social awareness month, something like that. Or I know it's a bummer we're not all in Indianapolis, but I think once we all have the opportunity to get in Indianapolis, everybody's going to feel that drive and that purpose to get together, whether it's going downtown in Indianapolis or doing something in our facility. But I think everybody realizes that we all have to take solidarity in this issue and we have to come together and do something together.